Joining us now for our post-politics section, Washington Post Dan Balz. Dan, have you ever conducted an interview on a horse?
I have not. That was an awesome performance. I'm impressed from start to finish with that.
As long as there's no video of me actually getting on the horse, I think we're going to be fine.
I think they did you proud.
Can we talk a minute then? We'll shift gears just for a second here to the president. Obviously, he's been on the stump this week, really trying to make this case on the economy, making it a choice, not a referendum, and also deciding to take up the issue of taxes, which for a lot of Democrats, they'd rather not have a fight about not even 8 weeks before an election.
Well, you know, this president's been pushed and pulled and pushed and pulled by his own base about what to do. And there have been a lot of people who think he has not been engaged enough in the partisan fight at various points in his presidency, but particularly now heading into the fall part of the election. And I think what he did both in Milwaukee on Monday and then in Cleveland on Wednesday was to say to people, don't have any doubt about the way I'm going to conduct myself between now and November. This is going to be a tough partisan fight, and I'm up for it, and I'm going to make the case. On the other hand, drawing those lines the way he did does create problems for a lot of Democrats who are running in very tough races. They don't want to get into that. As you all said earlier, there's a lot of growing sentiment among parts of the Democratic electorate to say, let's just push this off, extend everything for now, and let's revisit it later, but let's not get into a battle over this at this point. So he's conflicted. I think almost anything he does is going to draw some criticism from some part of the party.
And it's a binder. I mean, what does he need to do? You hear from the left of the party that the biggest problem we face is an enthusiasm gap, and you see it in our poll, right? Registered voters, pretty close. Likely voters, Republicans have a huge advantage. So they want to see a big fight over this. Let's fight. Let's get out there and see the president strongly make the argument that there's no reason to extend tax cuts for the wealthy. Make a big populist argument on it. I mean, does it work?
We don't know whether it's going to work. I think so many of the fundamentals of this election are already set, that a debate over this policy or that policy may or may not have much effect between now and November. I think that the White House has made a calculation. A, that this is going to be a tough environment. B, that they have no choice but to fight it out. I mean, what's the alternative? To kind of lay back? What's the alternative? To kind of, you know, blur some of these issues? I think they feel that unless the president makes the strongest possible case, A, the base will not respond as enthusiastically as they need them to respond, and B, he will be perceived as kind of taking a walk at a time when Democrats are in a real fight. And if he's the leader of the party, which he is, he's got to step up. And I think that's the calculation that we're seeing begin to play out this week.
But it may not even actually come to a vote in these next couple of weeks while Congress is here. We may end up talking about a lame duck session. So how does that play into the calculations here? Or do you think that maybe they do take a vote before they leave?
I don't know. I mean, it seems unlikely that they will. Yeah. Just the atmosphere is so poisonous that there seems little likelihood that they'll do it. I think the calculation is simply let's draw some lines, and that all right, well, public opinion is on their side, they believe.
We're out of time. Dan Balz, Washington Post. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching Top Line. Tune in tomorrow.